What do I love most in an audience? Collusion?
It's interesting playing for different audiences around the world. What I love in audiences is feeling like they're there with us for the ride, to look and see people with you and going with your journey, and you can feed off of that as a musician.
I guess it depends on the music you're playing too. I played in a rock and roll band for a long time, and you want the audience to be as crazy as possible, but for shows like this, it's just more engaged and thoughtful when they come to chat with us afterwards. And
I like how some audience members pick up on things that others might not have, and when they come up and talk to us about it, it's really cool to kind of connect on that. And when they engage with us, we can kind of go into detail about some of the things, the approaches to the music or approaches to the setup or the instruments, and it's really fun to talk about.
There's a magic sort of listening that happens in a room together, which is also something that I very, very much miss about live concert performances.
There's this palpable energy that you sometimes get from audiences where they're as invested in what you are doing as you are. And even if you don't interact with them afterwards, it's just something that you can tell during certain performances, certain concerts.
It's like when you're performing, I guess like you're the one who's emitting sound, whether it's your instrument or your voice. But the best times are when it feels like the life of the thing has to do with everyone participating. When people are generous somehow with themselves as audience members.
I love an audience that's open-minded. For me, having an audience that is really open to these different forms of expression, different musical languages, things that aren't necessarily sounding traditional, but an audience that really takes that leap of faith with the performer and allows them to be taken on that journey. It is arguably what I miss the most about live performance.
I think that's an important thing for audiences to realize, that they're just as much part of the performance as the musicians. And when they can be there with the musicians, it can make something even more enlightened, if that makes sense. Yeah.